Esther sat recently. They had friends visiting them in the monster bus. They were in San Diego. And Jerry had put on a piece of music that he plays nearly every day, sometimes more than once, that is Louis Armstrong singing What a Wonderful World. And when that song plays and they sit in the luxury of their perfect life, often Jerry and Esther are moved to tears in appreciation for the wonderful world that they perceive. So they were sitting there visiting with a friend from another country, in fact, and Jerry put the music on, and as Esther was hearing it, she looked out of the window, and right within her view, framed between palm trees and other coaches and the window of their own coach, was an American flag just waving there in the breeze. And as Esther looked at it, she felt her energy dip a little bit, because over the years that Jerry has known Esther, whenever they were driving anywhere and she saw an American flag waving in the breeze, she always commented on how much she liked it, how beautiful it was. And it wasn't only that it was a beautiful thing to see and that the movement of it was beautiful. It was that it represented something to her that felt good when she focused upon it. So it was always an uplifting experience. And now as Esther is looking at this flag, it does not mean the same thing to her. It does not feel the same way to her. And she felt her energy dip, and she felt sadness sort of washing over her. And now as she's listening to the song, What a Beautiful World, she is wondering for a moment just how beautiful this world really is and feeling uncomfortable. And then afterward, as we were chewing with her about it a little bit, we said to her, you must make that flag feel to you the way you want it to feel. You must not need others, even others in government, to behave in certain ways in order for you to feel that way you need to feel. Your feeling of patriotism or your feeling of pride or your feeling of alignment or your feeling of well-being is an inside job, because if you are waiting for one other to figure out what they need to do in order to make it right for you, now you are in entrapment, you see. Don't ask the world to behave in a way that makes sense. And that really is the dominant message that we are offering here today. You don't have to make sense of the world and everybody else's vibrational meter. You only have to find vibrational alignment between the desires that are born within you and where you are. So if something's happening in the administration of your government that is making you particularly uncomfortable, what's also happening within you is that you are launching rockets of desires into your vibrational escrow. Your source energy is hearing your desires, your wishes, your this is the way I think it should be. And source energy is saying to you, so be it. And now you must find a way to find vibrational alignment with the idea that you've given birth to, because until you can find vibrational alignment with the idea that you've given birth to, we promise you it cannot become a reality. The precepts on which this nation were founded came about by those who were in another part of the world having experiences worse than what you are witnessing now as far as they were personally concerned, launching rockets of desires that they did their best to come into vibrational alignment with. The ideas that your nation was founded on have always been ideals that you are reaching for. They have never been things that you have achieved that now you are slipping back from. Your democracy and your way of living free is something that is still in the making. And we understand what you're saying, that here you are as a nation dabbling in other parts of the world when you don't even have your own freedoms in place. But we want you to understand that in everything that each of you are living, you are launching rockets of desire, and future generations will benefit by what is being launched by the turmoil and contrast that you are all living now. But please don't ask of yourself that you wait until the world catches up and gets into alignment before you come into alignment. You find alignment with your dream, with your goals, with your desires now, you see. And so we know much of the world is not ready to hear that from you or from us. This is a leading edge group, and there is never a crowd on the leading edge. But we'll tell you what there always is on the leading edge. Joyous beings who are out there having first-time thoughts that are finding alignment with their own first-time thoughts. And we'll tell you who the most miserable in the world are. Those idealists who give birth to desires and then need conditions to change before they find their satisfaction. Because they always croak before the conditions change. And they never find their satisfaction. And while they do contribute mightily because of the contrast they live and the rockets they launch, we want you in on receiving the benefit of your own launched rockets, you see. Yes, indeed. How are you, deliberate creative fiends? You are eager to get on with the creation of your life. You are enjoying the contrast of your time and place. You are exhilarated by the contrast that gives birth to new desires. Those desires that have not yet come into fulfillment please and delight you beyond physical description. Yes, the answer is yes. Because it's not a matter of if they will come, it is certain, it's only a matter of when. And the when is fun because that's why I'm closing the vibrational gap. In other words, yes. Well, there are a lot of things that stirs up. In other words, does it make you feel empowered or disempowered? It makes you worry that others have power over you. And it makes you feel that you'd better conform, doesn't it? In other words, you better not get too far out there, because if you get too far out there, someone might misunderstand and make trouble for you, or not accept you, or not like you, or not allow you, or let you into the right club, or into the right heaven, or whatever. And then some of you are born who have seen societies moving further and further away from personal individual guidance, from personal individual fulfillment of reason for being. And so you're born with stronger than ever intention that this time they're not going to cause you to conform. And so you're just way, 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 way out there. Impossible to conform. Sometimes you are born with what you call birth defects, where your mind just doesn't function in the same way, so they have to allow you to be different. Sometimes you're born with other physical disabilities where they just have to allow you to be different, because you come forth so determined that you are going to express in a powerful way your understanding of the value of diversity. You live in a world that's almost gone mad with the idea of sameness. Let's take all the ideas that exist and whittle them down to just a few good ideas. People on the other side of the world having other religions, another way of looking at things. And so you try to persuade them, and then you condemn them. And then if they don't listen and will not listen to your conversions, then you drop bombs on them. In other words, there is such a sort of physical sickness that comes from believing that there are only a few good ideas, and that your good ideas will be threatened if the rest do not join them. Even if a lot of you become those who are wanting to make the world conform, you are bucking a current that you cannot buck, because you live in a universe that is based upon diversity. It's based upon difference. It's an expanding universe, not a shrinking universe. So you never need to worry, because new ones are being born every day. They're being born with a stronger understanding. Those that are old and stuck in their ways are croaking and going out the other end. So the dilution ratio always stays in this healthy place where you do not need to worry about it, you see. There is not anything to worry about. But if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would be taking pride in our renegade nature of difference. And we would try never again to conform. And we would reach this powerful place where we never again try to modify our behavior based upon appealing to someone else's impression of how we should behave. We would say to anyone who is willing to listen, I love you, but I do not give a rip what you want me to do. I'm following my own guidance system. It's a loud, clear message. I've been launching rockets of desire. Who I was before I was born and who I have even further become is now calling me with a very loud signal. I can hear the signal calling me. It feels like joy. It feels like love. It feels like passion. It feels like adoration. It feels like fulfillment. It feels like exhilaration. It feels like vitality. It feels like clarity. And when it calls me, I always try to lean in that direction. And every now and again, I get swept up in what others want, and I find myself feeling a little less free, and I find myself forking off in the direction that makes me feel like fear or even resentment or even anger. But now I'm aware of my guidance system. I can tell which way is the right way for me to go. So you can all out there in the peanut gallery beat your drum. You can make your laws. You can make every decision of the world about how you think I should be. But I am finally being the one I've come to be. I'm following my own bliss. I'm listening to the beat of the energy that flows forth from within me, and it never tells me wrong. And as more and more and more are doing that, those who come forth understanding that will begin to relax. Fewer will get suppressed where it squirts out in multiple personalities or whatever those diagnoses are that they're wanting to give. And more and more of you will be living your life in the joyful way that you've come forth to live it. Not one of you said, I'll go forth and I'll figure out what everybody's doing and then I'll conform to what they're doing. Not one of you said that. You said, I'll go forth and I'll appreciate their conformity because it will give me a platform from which to launch my intentions, but I'm going to put my 2 cents worth in pretty darn fast as soon as I get there. So I'll be born into an environment where they'll feed me and I'll be stable, and then I'll figure out as quickly as I can what I want from there, and I know that Source will agree with me and give me the circumstance and its events to fulfill it, and I'll do my best to stay true to the dream that is born within me. And when I go to the therapist that said, you should not dream, you should face reality, I'll stand up and with all of the fervor of my being, I'll say, we are eternally evolving. We cannot stand still. Please do not ask me to focus upon what is. Let me focus upon what can be. We get a little worked up on that because it is what all of you intended as you came forth into these bodies, you see. Not one of you intended to be suppressed. You all intended to find your path and let your light shine in your unique way. And as you compare yourself with each other, you lose track of what way is your way. But as you listen to the way you feel, as you listen to your gut, then you can tell what way is your way. And we've never known anyone who was ever happy, not even a little happy, doing something that somebody else wanted them to do. If you're not satisfying your own dreams, you're on the wrong track. You must follow your dream. You cannot be a cog in the wheel of somebody else's dream. The universe will support you. Find your dream and follow it. And tell everyone else to buzz off. Yes. We have enjoyed this interaction immensely. You are leading edge creators, and we are appreciating your willingness to chew with us endlessly about the nitty-gritty of what you are living. It is our desire that you leave this gathering with just a handful of new decisions vibrating within you. First and most important, we want you to at least be willing to acknowledge that life is supposed to be good for you, that you are source energy in a physical body, and that so much has come before even your coming forth into these bodies, that you have an inheritance of massive proportion that you are expecting to reap here in this specific physical lifetime. Next, it is our desire that you feel from us an appreciation about your willingness to chew on this contrast in order to take life into this new place of desire. And most of all, as you now contemplate those 2 vibrational points of relativity, it is our desire that you are selfish enough, because innately we know you are, to want to feel good enough, because intuitively and innately we know you are, to specifically direct your thought, which is easy to do in this moment, by forking in the direction that feels as good as you can make it feel. And it is our promise to you that with a semi-serious, not even working hard of it, but just attention a little more in every day to which corner of the universe you are listing toward toward what feels a little better or feels a little worse, that you will begin to see physical evidence that indicates the effectiveness of what will feel to you like far too simple choices. You have no idea how blessed you are, so you expect the choices to be bigger and harder to make, harder to find, harder to apply, harder to achieve. And we are wanting you to understand that there is no price that you need to pay. You are queued up for wonderful things.